The Raiders draft Fernando Mendoza, #1 overall. It's going to either save the team or it's going to absolutely ruin them. Now, the Raiders are more than a quarterback away from being a playoff team or being a Super Bowl caliber contender or anything like that. We're more than a quarterback away just from being able to compete in our own division. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into being a good team, and the Raiders have a lot of holes in this team. The Raiders have a lot of things that they need to address in this draft and after draft and stuff like that. And one quarterback is just not going to get it done. Now, it is possible that with the Raiders' 10 picks that they fill a lot of those gaps, which I expect them to do. I believe in Spy Tech and what they have going on. And I don't expect them to stay with 10 picks because I could really see them packaging a lot of those picks because rumor has it that this isn't a really deep draft. I'm not saying that because I'm not a draft specialist. I don't really watch a lot of film on a lot of these people. I look at who the Raiders might get, and I might spend a little bit of time of watching their highlights on YouTube. So I'm not going to sit here and cap and act like I watch a bunch of film on them. But supposedly the experts are saying this is not a very deep draft. So I can see the Raiders trying to package some of those picks to move up and try to get some of the better talent where they can. You could take Fernando Mendoza, #1, which I totally expect the Raiders to do. And if he's anything close to what the Raiders think he is, then we're going to be good. We're going to be great. If you can get him and sit him behind Kirk Cousins for a couple games, maybe even a season, and let him learn the offense, let him learn how everything works in the NFL, the speed, the adjustments, pre-snap reads, all of those things, playing under center, which is something he has to get used to. If you are able to take him and he's talented enough to play in the NFL and he just needs some time, then we are A-okay because we're not in any rush. Most of our good players are young players right now. So we're not in any type of rush, and that could be beneficial to him and to us as an organization. But if you take Fernando Mendoza and he's one of those Josh Rosen types, or he's one of those Trey Lance types, like guys that haven't really been on everybody's radar for multiple years. And my brother brought this up to me the other day while we were driving to Pittsburgh for a tournament, is that he said, I don't trust quarterbacks who only have had 1 year where people were talking about them being really good. And obviously, Trey Lance is one of those type of guys. Now, I will counter that with Josh Allen because I don't remember hearing about Josh Allen before that 1 year, and he ended up being a really good quarterback. But to his point, Josh Allen also did struggle early and was able to work through that. I digress. If we get Fernando Mendoza and he's not the guy you think he is, I think it sets the franchise back a little bit. Not that it's their fault, because I do believe they have to take a quarterback. But if you get him and he's not the guy you think he is, not only are we in trouble on the field and, schematically and talent-wise and all those other things, but the fan base will be in shambles. The fan base will be in shambles because everybody is hoping and praying. The great white hype is Fernando Mendoza. Now, I know he's Cuban, but I'm just saying, it's a movie. It's a movie reference. They are hoping, and I am hoping, that he is the guy to take us into the next, century, next whatever it is of this Raiders franchise, right? The new day, the new chapter, the new book. We're expecting Fernando Mendoza to be that guy. Yes, we have Kirk Cousins right now to help us along the way, and I do think Kirk Cousins is good enough to start in the NFL. I do think Kirk Cousins is good enough to give us something, right? With that #1 pick, the flip side of that is that if you traded it, you get a king's ransom. If you traded it, you get so many picks that you can actually, from the ground up, build you a new football team. And then you go get the quarterback you think fits that. See, in my opinion, the Raiders could be high on Fernando Mendoza. That can happen. But the Raiders are also in a situation where they're handcuffed. You have to take Fernando Mendoza, because if you don't, and he turns out to be the next Aaron Rodgers, he turns out to be the next Matt Ryan, you look really dumb. And now you have to wait and hope you get another one that falls in your lap. If you don't draft him, or if you do draft him and he's a bust, well, shit, you're done anyway. You missed out anyway. You're bad anyway, right? So they kind of have to take him #1, because when it comes to quarterbacks, you keep swinging until you hit. And that's just what it comes down to, right? So the Raiders have a lot of situations or a lot of issues they have to address in this draft. And like I said, post-draft, you got to get the trenches done. Yeah, I like what the Raiders have done They got Powers there. They got Colton Miller. They got Linderbaum, or however you just want to pronounce that name. Offensive line is looking good. You got Genty. You got Bowers. You got Naylor in there as an offensive weapon. You got some things returning. Defensively, you did some things at linebacker. But you don't have safeties. You don't have corners. You got to get interior line taken care of, right? This is not a deep draft for defensive tackles. So maybe the Raiders can move up from 36 and get them a DT that's still available, or get one at 36. But it's just a tough spot that the Raiders are in, because if you draft Mendoza and he's the guy, he saves the franchise. If you draft Mendoza and he's a buster, oh boy, it sets us back a very long time. I personally know some people that think we should trade. One of my brothers is on that side of the fence where he thinks we should trade it and get a bunch of picks and build this team. I saw some people at the daddy-daughter dance when I was there with my daughter, and they were saying that we should trade the pick. I personally think you have to take the quarterback, just because if he is the guy, you cannot miss out on that and watch another team get him. Now, it has been brought to my attention that when I said the curse may be lifted, wouldn't it be perfect if the curse wasn't lifted and this was the part of the curse? Is that you finally get the number 1 pick, you finally draft the quarterback, and he is horrible, and he is not the guy you think he is. That would be part of the curse. So I am praying and I'm hoping that that is not the case. And the Raiders are going to draft Mendoza. Graphic Raiders going to play his song that he just made for Mendoza. Y'all go stream that. Y'all go download that, whatever you got to do to support that. And I think all's well that ends well. But if the Raiders take Mendoza and he's not the guy, man, as a fan base, I think we would implode. I think we would absolutely implode. I want you guys to get down in the comments and let me know what you think. If you like the video, like the video. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, both at Raider Honcho. And until the next time, Raider Honcho out.